Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today, shockingly, I am reviewing something I found in store at Walmart. I had this pre-ordered from BigBadToyStore.com, and then Walmart gets it first, and actually there were a number of interesting things in Walmart's collector's section, but this is the only one that was a must-have for me. This is the Bioexorcist Beetlejuice. Interesting on the packaging that they've got a sticker here. This isn't something NECA normally does, and I'm wondering if it's specifically for, like, by Walmart request, because look, I try to be a kind person, but I'll go ahead and say your average Walmart dum-dum isn't even going to recognize this as having anything to do with Beetlejuice, but if they see this, they'll be like, hey, it's that movie about that ghost guy, and they might buy it. I don't know. That's my guess. That's my extremely mean guess at the logic behind this sticker. And I wonder if the direct market versions, like ones coming from Big Bad or wherever, will also have that sticker. We'll find out. And I'm sorry I was so mean. But I love this packaging, and I love this figure. Obviously, the best-known version of Beetlejuice is the one with the striped suit. But we've seen that again and again and again and again and again. I've got the older NECA figure, not the reissue that just came out, which, by the way, I think the portrait on that one is not nearly as good as the one that I've got from, I don't know, 10 years ago or whenever it came out, before NECA started doing articulation, basically. But this look it's refreshing and more fun, to be honest. I'm happy to see it. Packaging is great. The stain, it's that, the flyer, all stained and dirty looking. It was exciting to see this in the store. And there's no doubt in my mind that we will see an ultimate version of Striped Suit Beetlejuice. We'll probably get that. We'll probably get the wedding suit version. I know the version with the spikes coming out of him, I feel a little anxious version, comes with the playset, which I wanted, but I just, I felt the cost was reasonable and fair, but I just couldn't spend that much on a big giant diorama thing that I certainly don't have space for, as much as I'd love to have it. This shows the instructions for swapping out the face plates. You've got the credits for everybody that worked on this, and then let's take a look at the backdrop, which is a wacky Beetlejuicy type thing that I will probably use for the thumbnail, because it looks like it's got a pretty low gloss on it and should work pretty well for photography. So yeah, I'm just excited to see. I mean, I love Beetlejuice. My grandfather took me to see it when it came out, and if I remember correctly, his comment was, well, that was something else. Something along those lines. Oh, I didn't open up the window box. There it is. Whatever. We know how this NECA packaging works. I don't think he was, well, I don't know. I think he enjoyed it, but I think there were things that he wasn't necessarily comfortable enjoying with his 12-year-old grandson. Beetlejuice is 88, right? 1988? I think that's right, because it was right before Batman. But anyway, I was obsessed with it. It was definitely a formative movie for me, and at the time, being 12, I wasn't really paying attention to, oh my gosh, these little things are so tight in here. I didn't, at that point, know, like, directors and stuff. Like, I knew actors. I certainly knew Michael Keaton from probably Mr. Mom. I might have even seen... on like HBO, I might have seen some of the more adult movies that he had done. Night Shift, Used Cars? Was he in Used Cars? Or I think it's, no, what's the one about the factory that gets taken over by Japan? Oh gosh, I can't remember what that one is called. Anyway, I was familiar with Michael Keaton, thought he was very funny. And but certainly didn't realize that the same guy that directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which I adored, had directed Beetlejuice. I'm sure I didn't make that connection until years later. No, take that back. I probably made the connection when Batman came out because I read every magazine article I possibly could about Batman 1989, and they for sure would be mentioning all of that. So yeah, I guess 89 is probably, it's interesting. I hadn't thought about it before. I love the way they do the hair on this. I hadn't really thought about it before, but in a lot of ways, Batman 1989 was so much more than just, oh, this huge movie coming out. It also taught me how to be aware of filmmakers and what went into movies, because it was the first time I had done anything like dig into articles about how the movie was made and stuff like that. Now, I had watched, I realize we're not talking about the Beetlejuice figure, but I've got a lot of unpacking to do. I had watched a program on Nickelodeon hosted by Leonard Nimoy called 3-2-1 Lights, Camera, Action, I think. I've talked about it before on the Needless Things podcast. But I had watched that and watched behind the scenes stuff or whatever. But I still, even then, I don't think I had really put the thought into the people involved with making the movies. I don't know. I don't have the clearest recollections of my childhood. So a lot of times, and that's why pop culture, I think, is such a big thing to me, is because that is, in many ways, the touchstone, or these are touchstones or benchmarks or whatever. Gosh, that face is fantastic. I don't know that I'm sold on this, because there is almost too much of a delineation between the face and the hair, looking like separate pieces, which they are, obviously. Like, there's almost too much face, it seems like. But from the front, it looks perfect. From the side, look, it's not bad. I'm just not totally sold on that being the best method. The hair, I've got my flashlight now. So as you can see, the hair is translucent, which is a great effect. And they did that on the original figure that NECA released, the one that I've got with minimal articulation. The hair was translucent like that, and it looks great. It's a really cool way to do, especially for a ghost. Just a really cool way to do hair. Look at that. I love that portrait. Let's zoom in even closer. All of the moss and crud looks great. And I guess that really is kind of what lets this work, is this is accurate. He's got, I mean, obviously it's accurate. NECA knows what they're doing, but he does have all that growth at the edge of his face by his hair. I just feel like it's a little too, it feels like his hair is growing out of the back of his head. Like it, well, the best way to say it is it looks like this, if that makes sense. But I do, well, no, but he's got swappable heads. I was going to say I do like not having to actually take the whole head off, but he does have a swappable head, which is probably the one I'm going to display. I will say, though, oh, great. Holy cow. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. Let me zoom back out some, and we'll continue looking at details. Does not have double jointed elbows, which I am fine with. Not every figure has to have double jointed elbows. Beetlejuice is not Spider-Man. He gets a little bit more than a 90-degree bend there. It works for me. His coat is a nice soft plastic. Tons of gross. Look at the moss on the back of it. Lots of gross detail on that. Looks excellent. I'm glad they didn't go with the soft goods for this. Although I wouldn't mind seeing one of the 8-inch clothed figures of Beetlejuice. I'd be interested to see how they'd execute that with the well, I think they should do that in the striped suit next. Like marketing strategy wise, I think that's smart. The vest looks great. I've never before. This is one of the things I love about toys. I've never noticed what's on Beetlejuice's vest before. And there's some kind of like monkeys or something, I think. I've never noticed that pattern. And this is great. I love this. For years and years and years. Really ever since Sideshow Toys, Universal Monsters figures is where the details really started to be something you could see in a different way that you may never have seen in the movies. Look at the stripes on those pants, like so subtle. The two belts. Let's zoom back out. We're a little close for that area. Short pants, mismatched shoes. I mean, this is there a joint there? Yes, there is. Okay, so look, standard ankle articulation. Yes, paint loss. I don't know how much I even want to mess with that though. If he stands up, look, even the sneaker has that ankle articulation, but ooh. Okay, there we go. Look, I will never, even though it's been years since NECA's stuff has felt particularly, listen to that ratchet. Even though it's been years since NECA's stuff felt particularly fragile, I will never not be nervous moving these joints for the first time, especially again with the paint. You know, that's just how they do things, and that paint will seize stuff up. Oh, and by the way, this is how I find it easiest to work these loose, is to just turn that, because that way you're able to grip it like that and put the pressure on the peg, like have a little more control. He's going to take some doing to get him in a standing position, I think. Maybe not. That's all right. So, hips standard. It's got the rotation right here at the top, moving in and out. But again, how much does Beetlejuice really do? And then single jointed knees, which is great. And they figured out this little overlap here keeps the hinge from being visible, so they don't have to worry about the paint on the hinge. That's a good thing. Oh, I love this. I love him. And I'm so happy. Again, we will for sure get a striped suit version like this. It's so cool to have a different look for this character. All right, so there is your figure. Oh, I didn't look at the hands. The hands are, as you can see, hinged. I guess that would be laterally. Just nastiness. Grotesque. Love it. Okay. So let's set him over to the side. Look at that. He stood right up. I know you can't see it. It's off camera, but whatever. We've got a sort of mean portrait. A laughing, snarly portrait. Hey, look at me. And I love this. Just that sinister smile, like he knows something you don't know and he's about to get one over on you. And then an alternate hairpiece with the hat, with the tour guide. Gosh, that looks great. Look how good the tampo looks on that. That silver really, really shines. The bolts on it. That's fantastic. So yeah, I think I might prefer with the hat. I'm not sure. So I like that one, but that's not the winner for me. I think, and I'm probably going to go with the hat. Look at that. I think I'm putting the hat on. Let's see how hard it's going to be to get this off. It's a softer, okay, good. It's a softer plastic, so I was hoping it wouldn't be too much of a struggle. Unfortunately, look, the hat, you've got a spot to press down on. It's going to be a lot harder to get that pointy hair back in place, but I think this is what I'm going for. Oh, that looks great. Okay. What else have we got? We have got a full-on newspaper printed on. This is incredible. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. And the paper it's not thin. Doesn't feel like it's going to tear. Wow. Stripes are the new black. That's great. Feeling strange and okay, so I'm guessing this is all made up by NECA, is my guess, because we never see the inside of this paper. Look at this. This is all references to stuff in the movie. Oh, NECA is phenomenal. Welcome to Maitland's. Oh, wow. This alone, to me, because of how fun this is, makes this a must-have. We have got the lantern, which looks great. It's got a really nice dark metallic finish on it. The flame inside looks good. Nice and clear glass. He's got his little rat buddy. And well, not finally, because we got a bunch of hands also. We've got, well, it's not his card because it's too big, but it's basically his business card. Speak my name 3 times. And then, finally, I've got multiple hands. We've got a pointing hand. No, sorry, I'm still zoomed in too much. I've got a pointing hand, a couple of sort of open, relaxed hands, and then a hand to hold the newspaper. This is fantastic. Like, I was pretty excited about the figure anyway, again, just because it's something different. But the execution on this figure is incredible. If you are a fan of the movie, I think this is a must-have. Like, even if you don't collect figures, and I get it that maybe if somebody's only going to buy one Beetlejuice, then maybe the black and white striped suit, is the one that you have to have. And that's probably the case. But I mean, this is the first time we see him. It's interesting and different and chaotic. The black and white striped suit is almost too neat and clean to me. This better represents Beetlejuice as a character. But whatever. I mean, look, if you want the other one, I get it, and I'll buy that one too. I'll buy the wedding suit one. I hope we get more characters from the movie. But NECA, this is a candidate for Figure of the Year, 100%. We'll find out in December of this year if he makes it into the top 10, but I think he's probably going to end up there. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, buy what you like, and until next time, hey, I got something for you. Buy what you like. Hey, Phantomaniacs, I want to tell you about memberships for the Needless Things channel. We have 3 different levels. Each one has different special perks that will only be available to members. We've got things like special emojis that I made myself, badges, polls that you're going to be able to participate in to determine what we do here on the channel, early access to videos, exclusive live chats, exclusive live streams, lots of engagement, because that's really what I want. I really enjoy the comments here on the channel, even the negative ones. I like getting into that kind of stuff, and I want people to feel like they're more a part of what's going on here. And obviously, I want support for the channel. You know, this stuff, as much as I love doing it and providing it for free, it isn't free for me. So every little bit that we can get helps out. And even if you don't join as a member, thank you for your support, whether liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever it is you do. It's all important. But those memberships, the members are going to get lots of cool stuff exclusive only to them.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.